The shower room is beginning to take shape. We framed it in 80/20 with finished corners exposed. The finished 80/20, combined with walnut and marine vinyl, makes for a festival of color and texture. Here's an example from Van 1. It's beautiful.
And they don't jump back either. And they're tight.
Alex developed a ladder support system for the back wall. This curved wall enables us to maximize interior space by following the contour of the van. Now it's time to locate and drill our shower drain hole in the van floor. And we're trying something new with the custom-made high-grade stainless steel shower pan. Here's our starter hole. A hydraulic press. This new tool presses a beautifully smooth, perfect hole in the steel.
So this will drop when...
Yeah, come right out.
Careful. You just have to catch it. Oh, it's moving.
Holy shit.
Oh my god. It's not that hard. Oh my god.
Easy peasy. That was beautiful.
Pretty clean.
It's a nice hole.
And the blowouts on the bottom. It's nice.
And far more elegant than using a hole saw. The pan gets glued down and it fits like it was made for that spot. How's the position?
Get my Crocs in there.
Wait a minute, it was! I enjoyed a visit from one of my next clients. He brought his beast of a 170 Sprinter 4x4 to kick around some ideas on floor plan, components, and systems. Stay tuned for that build to begin this spring. Who would have ever thought a series of pipes and valves could be so sexy? Well, here it is. This is the water system. And I gotta tell you, I am having a ball. I am celebrating every single effort in this van. Everything is thought about, tested, imagined. Then I lay it out with an aesthetic that it looks nice. Valves are celebrated. It's one big party in here. Look what I got. All right, this system is about 99.9% complete. I really just have to tie in my supply from the water tank. So here's how this goes. This is the water system down here that I'll talk about first. So the water tank is going to suck up through a pickup, a 3/4 inch pickup. This pump is going to pull that water through a strainer. Then it's going to send it down through 3/4 inch soft tubing. The reason I set this little bit of soft tubing in between the pump and the system is all of our Propex is rigid. This softness is going to mitigate the vibration caused by this pump. This pump is sitting on a platform that's sitting on a rubber gasket. There will be another rubber gasket installed under the pump. And if you notice, I isolated the pump on its own tray in order to minimize that vibration as well. So now the water gets pumped down through here. This is fresh cold water from your tank. It goes back into a 3/4 inch manifold, which has 4 zones, 4 half-inch legs coming off of it. Each one of these zones is fitted with a shutoff. Any or all of them can be shut off at any time. And the way I've installed these is the valves are in line with the flow of the water. That is how you would see every single valve in this system. The handle is going in the direction of the flow. So this first cold water valve, this first cold water pipe comes down. This is cold water to the sink, to the galley. These will all be labeled. The next one is cold water to the shower. That goes under the floor and over to the shower. This third one, which has a shutoff on the cold water, that goes to a mixing valve. The cold water comes in this side of the valve. Hot water comes in this side of the valve, and you adjust the temperature that you want the warm or tepid water to leave the valve. That is for an outside washdown. At the back of the van, we've got a little washdown system. You want to wash your bikes, you want to wash the dog, you want to rinse off after the beach or something. It's not exactly a shower, it's a washdown with a hose system. But you've got warm water out there, tepid if you like. The fourth line comes around and goes into the water heater. That's the cold water into the water heater. The hot water comes out here. The hot water comes down and it branches off. This is a valve that would isolate the mixing valve for the outdoor washdown. Now I could have put one valve to shut down the washdown here, but what if this is the failure? What if the mixing valve failed? This valve isn't going to help you. So that's why I put them here behind the mixing valve. That way, any part of that system that fails, you can isolate just that one leg and everything else works just fine until you can get it fixed. Same thing down here. All the hots have their shutoffs. Now, how do we make this hot water? This is a isotemp from Webasto. It is 120 volt. It uses 750 watts. You fire up your inverter and you pull power from your battery and you heat your water. However, it also has provision for a heat exchanger. It has a heat exchanger built in. So what we did, I developed a closed loop glycol system. This is where our glycol reservoir. It's basically antifreeze. I've got a 12 volt water pump. I'm gonna mount this over there. This is gonna pump our glycol up to the front of the van. I've got a heat exchanger mounted on the frame member just behind and above the fender. It's tucked into a really nice little spot, safe, out of the way. And we tapped off the heater hose that comes off the engine. The heater hose that comes directly off the engine goes right to one end of my heat exchanger, and then the other side it comes back into the heater box in the van cockpit. Our glycol goes through the other side of that heat exchanger, picks up the heat from the engine, brings it all the way back here and into the water heater. It heats the water and then returns to the reservoir to start the cycle all over again. Now, the owners of this van, full-timers, you know the Vagabonds. If you don't, go over and watch their channel, Carry On Vagabond. They're full-timers. They live in the van, and they do a good amount of driving. You know, they don't stay in any one place for too long, although that might change with such a beautiful van. But if you were to drive this van for probably 2 hours, an hour to 2 hours, you've made a full tank of hot water. And like I said, I had one of these on my boat. And if they drive around and they get to their next location, that would be the time to take your showers, when the water is the hottest. So you will adjust your lifestyle a little bit, or just ignore that and turn on the inverter. You got plenty of power to make hot water with the inverter. But if you did want to arrive at your next destination, that would be the time you take your showers. You got free hot water off the engine because you were driving anyway. Same thing with the solar. You're getting charged up while you drive with an alternator and solar. So this van is about as self-sufficient as you can get. So like I said, this water system is just about completed. I got to put another soft hose on the other side, picking up, so there's no, I'm trying to isolate this vibration as much as I can for a nice quiet operation. And then of course out here in the galley, you'll be able to open a pantry drawer and change this strainer. Not change it, clean it. You can unscrew this, rinse it out, put it back on. Easy peasy. Everything here is accessible. Once the van's all put back together, there's going to be a hatch right here under the mattress. So you just fold the mattress back, pull up one hatch to get at all this, pull up the rest of the hatch to get to everything else, and vice versa on the other side of the van for the electric. The opener fittings are an absolute joy to work with. They make a consistent watertight connection every time. But the effort requires some pre-planning in terms of when to make a connection. If you're not careful, you can find yourself with a connection that you cannot reach with the tool. Don't ask me how I know that. Lock it in, baby.
Said or as you asked, so I think it's kind of nice for you to be part of this.
I had another visitor this week. Mitul Chandrani is the senior marketing manager for Xantrex. They're the people who make the Freedom eGem battery system. Mitul stopped by to do a brief Q&A with me for their social media outlets. I'll provide the links when that video is uploaded. Alex has become quite proficient with his Festool edge banding machine. He pre-cuts the edge bands and feeds them into the machine. The machine applies the band with a specially formulated hot glue, color matched to the type of wood you're working with. It takes another special dedicated tool to snip off the excess. And then a special router bit to knock down the edges.